This is Danny Flexon here for SecondsOut. Delighted to be joined once again by Olympic bronze medalist and many, many other titles, too many to mention in this time. But Frazer Clarke. Frazer, how are you?
I'm all good, mate. How are yourself?
I'm very good, thank you. News came out. Happy New Year. Forgot my pleasantries, forgot my manners for a second. Thanks for reminding me. News came out this morning that you will be making your long-awaited professional debut on a huge card, February the 19th in Manchester. Amir Khan, Kell Brook, long-standing rivals finally settle their score as you begin your professional journey. How excited are you to be making your debut on such a big stage?
It's a great show to be a part of. Boxing debut, professional debut. It's the stuff of dreams, really. But like I said, I'm just going to take it in my stride. I'm there to do a job, have some fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Is it just about getting the win under the belt, or are you looking to put on a show and to show people just how much potential you've got?
It's always about getting a win. Win first and foremost, and obviously try and look good doing it. That's what we do. But yeah, I'm a winner, so by any means necessary, get in there, do my job. But it's usually entertaining when I'm in the ring. Anyway, when I fight, even as an amateur, it was always fun, always some sort of drama. So we try and keep it drama-free, but yeah, put on a good performance.
You're working with AJ and his management company, of course, but your direct predecessor in terms of the amateur super heavyweight in GB is Joe Joyce. He fought Ian Lewison in his professional debut, which was thought to be a massive risk at the time, but he passed that test with aplomb, as it turned out. What sort of level should we expect from your debut opponents?
This is the thing. I'm just going to do the boxing. I'm leaving that to everyone else. But like I say, I don't know. It's just one of them. Like when you see people's, you definitely don't want someone. People are gonna have an opinion anyway. So you don't want someone you don't want a binman. You don't want someone who's too good. At the same time, you don't want you gotta get it in the middle, fine balance. I know what level I'm at. I know where I could happily go in. But I'll leave it to my trainer and my team, and they'll find the right opponent. They're experienced.
Tell us though. You just said you know what level you're at. What sort of level would you happily go in at if it was your decision? You're not under any obligation to do it.
No, if it was my decision, who's British champion?
Joe Joyce currently, because he hasn't given it up yet. But you're looking at Nathan Gorman, Fabio Wardley for the vacant title if he vacates.
I could jump in the ring. I could box with them guys, no problem. I could beat them guys, no problem.
Could you do 12 rounds now?
This is the thing, we're not going to run before we can walk. We've got to build up to the 12 rounds. So, them names are it's all good speaking about them, but they're on their own journey. They're doing great things, two good fighters. But for me, it's just starting off, build the rounds up, get the experience of them big fight cards, and learn on the job.
Now, you've been working with Angel Fernandez for a little while now out in Loughborough. Amazing facilities. I've been there. I was very impressed by it. What are the main kind of things you guys have been focusing on so far?
Like I say, we know that I'm experienced and we know that I know how to box, but there's little things we need to change. We're still going to keep a lot of the attributes we've already got, but there's just things we can tidy up on, becoming very tidy, developing the punching power a little bit. Understanding tactics, understanding when to do things and how to do them. It's a little bit different in a professional game. Do you know what I mean? So still boxing, but there's a lot of changes you can make. I don't want to take myself away from myself, but I want to keep what I've got, but just add to it, sort of thing.
And putting your debut on such a big show, what does that tell us about and tell you about Sky and boxers' faith in you?
Well, I knew they believed in me from the second I spoke with them. They had huge belief in me. Probably a bit more than I did at the beginning. But it's nice. It's nice for them, to recognise, what I want to do and where I want to go. So to be on a huge card, it's an honour. To be honest, like I say, the Amir Khan Kell Brook show. If I was going to debut on any show, that'd be it, because I've been in Sheffield for so long. And I know how big Kell Brook is. I've been to them big nights in Sheffield. I'm off a sort of Sheffield lad. Amir Khan's one of the reasons I got into boxing. I've got a massive interest in this fight. At the press conference, I don't even want to be asked too many questions. I'm just going to take some popcorn. I'll keep it moving, go straight to Kell and Amir and just let them get at it because they don't like each other. I love that.
You might be brought in to separate them.
Well, I can do both jobs. Everyone knows I've still got the old security badge. You know what I mean? If I have to jump up there, then I will.
Brilliant stuff. You said Amir was one of the reasons you first got into boxing. Just tell us about the influence he had on you and his journey as a 17-year-old at the Olympics.
Yeah, he was fantastic. There's no doubt about it. He lit up them Olympics. You know, he was the only one the team sent, I believe. Yeah, he was. And you know, to get that silver medal, he was unbelievable. I remember watching it. I remember watching him coming back. I remember everyone in the streets of Bolton going crazy. It's just one of the things you think, you know what, one day that's what I want. And I had it, but in Burton.
What were you doing at the time? In what was it, 2004?
2004. I was like 12, yeah. 12, so just at the school and stuff. I can remember we watched it at school. We watched the, I think it was a repeat because he already boxed, but I can remember watching it when we was doing a little bit about the Olympics. And I just thought, you know what, that's what I wouldn't want to be. I was already boxing at the time. For a little bit, but I thought, you know, that's where I want to be.
Who would you say have been your biggest influences when you started getting into boxing?
I always looked at the crop that was in front of me, to be fair, because like I said, I can remember coming through up to Sheffield, and at the time 2009 I sort of arrived there, so just left. There was David Price, De Gale, Frankie Gavin, and Billy Joe Saunders, Bradley Saunders, all them people. They were wicked. You know what I mean? And like I say, so I looked up to them. Cal Yafai, and then he carried on. He trained with us and everything like that. So they were all the team before me. Was always the amateur team that you look up to, and then as you go through, obviously developing boxing, you start picking up. Now I love the older fighters. I love Marvin Haggards, Ray Leonard, Larry Holmes. Johnny Tapia, he's a massive fan of Johnny Tapia. I'm currently just reading his book. So I love all boxing, but I'd say late 80s, early 90s was a really good era for me. I love that.
And what about AJ and Joe Joyce? Obviously, your two predecessors as the super heavyweight rep for GB. Did seeing what they were achieving on the international stage kind of further convince you that you could do the same?
Oh, 100%. You know, people say sparring. So I didn't really take too much from that because you can have good spars, bad spars, but on my good days, and you think, oh my God, I'm in against a world silver medalist there, or an Olympic bronze medalist, or whatever they are. You know, they're achieving Olympic silver medalist rather. And I think, if I'm doing this in sparring, but I know sparring means nothing. It's different in a fight. But obviously, the good thing about me, Joe, and Josh was it was never. In a lot of weight categories on the GB, sometimes you get some animosity, between the fighters because everyone's competing. It gets a bit frosty. Me, Josh, and Joe, I think you got three massively laid-back personalities. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong, everyone works hard, and when one did better than the other, for me it was like congratulations. And then when it gets to the point where right, they're going to the Olympics, you can do nothing but support them and learn off them and try and learn alongside them. So it was never really any like animosity ever. It was always, I'll have a look at what he's doing. I'll try and do what he's doing. Or he's running hard. I'll try and catch up to him. He's working hard on the bag. So I want to outwork him. It was good competition, really good.
And what does it mean that AJ wanted you so much for his management team now? Is he kind of anointing you as the heir apparent, the heir to everything he achieved?
I don't know about that. Yeah, he's a friend. He's a fellow athlete. He's someone I look up to. He's definitely been an inspiration to me over the last few years. He's on his own journey now. He wants to get back to the top. And if I get the opportunity, I'm sure we'll work side by side and push each other like we did in amateurs. And try and get the best out of each other. But everyone knows Big Josh. If you've seen or spent time with him, he's a pleasure to be around. He's an influence on me. He's an influence on the cleaner in the gym. He has an influence on everyone. So he's one of them people that you can only be grateful to be in the presence of. And you try and take little things from what he's doing because he works hard. He's a master of his sport. We know where he's at. He's got a task to do. But if you're going to bet on anyone to come back and do it, believe me, he's the man to put your money on it.
Now, before I let you go, I should ask you about another heavyweight situation we've got going on at the moment in obviously your division. Dillian Whyte, Tyson Fury, purse bids have just been extended for another week. What do you make of that whole situation?
I just want to see the fight. The two great characters, and I think it's an interesting fight. As far as the business side goes, that's well out of my pay grade, well out of my way out of my thing. I don't really have a clue. I mean, 80-20, it sounds unfair. Obviously, there's lots of ins and outs. I'd like to see them fight, and that's as simple as it goes, really. 80-20, it sounds ridiculously unfair, don't it? But I don't know why. I don't know how. If they can come to some sort of agreement, I think it's good for boxing. It's a good fight. But yeah, no one's ever given me the 80-20 split. It won't happen.
Well, this is what you've got to look forward to. All the politics. I suppose that's why you've got a management team to sort it out for you. To be fair.
Yeah, I got no worry. I got the best in the game on that. So it's not. That would never happen for me. You got to. I think obviously, this is where it's so important to have a good team. I don't know Dillian's team personally, but if the right people are looking after him, I imagine these things get sort of sorted out earlier or quickly. I don't like it's out of my depth. I'm not sure what I'm talking about, but I think if you have the right people, the right legal people, the right management people, these things are avoided.
Great stuff. Well, actually, before I let you go, just remind people of your social media handles so they can find out more about what you do.
So on Instagram, Frazer Clarke. It was Big Fraze Boxer. Clarke, so it's easier for people to get to me. Twitter, I'm still Big Fraze Boxer. And Facebook, Frazer Clarke. Yeah, so give us a follow, and hopefully it'll be a good journey. You see a lot of Only Fools and Horses on there. Me doing a lot of bad impressions, and my I think it's funny sense of humour. You might get it, you might not. But just have a look.
Who's your favourite character?
Probably Boise. Yes. I love Boise. I love Boise. I love Wheeler and Dealer.
Can you do a Boise impression?
Marlene.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. All right, I've taken up enough of your time, but I really appreciate it, and I can't wait to watch the debut.